What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Biddick, and we are back with another episode of Kinda Funny Weekly Review. This week's episode is going to be a little bit different due to the 4th of July and RTX. Alongside Spider-Man coming out on Tuesday, certain shows had to get switched around, so it made sense for in review. So KFAF is going to be on Tuesday, in review is going to be Wednesday. Those are flopped. Not going to have any content for Thursday. Friday, we will have the Kinda Funny podcast since that was recorded earlier in the week. Other than that, that's pretty much the big changes. Things are a little bit mixed up, but it means the show is a little bit shorter, a little more condensed, but we're keeping you up to date with the Kinda Funny content so you can stay in the loop. Other than that, that's pretty much the big things for the show. There's no real housekeeping if you want to. You can definitely check out the antics that happened from RTX this week over on Twitter, people's Facebooks, Instagrams, the whole 9 yards. It seemed like a wonderful event. I wish I could have gone. If you went there, share some of your most favorite moments from RTX. That would be a blast. Other than that, I guess there was a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to shut up, and we're going to get on with the show. Monday starts off as always with We Have Cool Friends, hosted by Greg Miller and Nick Scarpino. Special guest this week is Josh Macuga. Now, some best friends may know Josh from his various appearances on Kinda Funny content, or they know his work from Collider. Now, Josh has a really vast career, and he talks about everything from starting off in New York to moving to LA to joining Collider, doing some stand-up, and even the struggles that he's dealt with throughout his career. Some of the loneliness, the rejection, things like that. Now, after Josh goes through his career, lots of jokes are told, a lot of drinks are had, we actually get into this segment called Friend Zone, where we get a couple questions from you, the best friends. One question I want to highlight comes from the nanobiologist when he asks what inspired you to dream and aim to be the Jeopardy host. Now, if you don't know, Josh Macuga's endgame goal is to be the next host of Jeopardy, and he's constantly campaigning. And it was really great to hear his answer and hear why he was inspired to have such a big, lofty goal. I just want to take a moment to quickly thank Josh Macuga for coming on this week's episode of We Have Cool Friends. Personally, as someone who's trying to be an entertainer himself and get in the entertainment industry, it was really special to hear Josh's story. I think he's a wonderful person. I think the big takeaway is through all the crazy experiences he's had, like he said, his big thing was he left a room making sure that people thought positively about him. And that's not an egotistical thing. It was really a sincere, I just want to make sure that people know I'm respecting them and they're respecting me and that people are happy. I've always said that my biggest goal in life is to make as many people happy the best way possible. And for me, it seems like Josh Macuga is doing that. And I just can't express how much I admire that. I think he's a wonderful person, and if we had more people in the world with Josh Macuga's attitude, I think that would be for the better. So from one Josh to another, thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you for being a cool friend, and I can't wait to see more from you. All right, that's enough of me ogling over another Josh. Let's get back to the show. This Tuesday, we've got KFAF, hosted by Nick Scarpino and Andy Cortez. Due to the fact that Tuesday Spider-Man Far From Home came out, they actually had to switch KFAF and In Review, so that's why we've got it especially early in the week, the best show on the internet. Now, before we get into Warboat, Nick shows off his incredible martial arts prowess and does the bottle cap challenge, and he nails it. Now we're going to move on to Warboat, where Andy aims for D9 with a solid hit and sinks one of Nick's ships. Nick fires off at J10 and comes in with a miss. Moving on from Nick's disappointment, we have the Photoshop challenge. This week's topic was toys. We got some amazing submissions and I can't recommend them enough, so take some time and go check out this segment. Throw at everyone some sweet nasty love who participated. Next week's theme will be random people wearing Greg's E3 badge due to the heinous debacle of Greg being banned from E3. The big topic of the show is highlights of Nick, Greg, and Andy from their set of Tim's Roast. If you didn't know, our boy Tim Geddes turned 30 on the 30th of June, and instead of having a party, Gia threw him a roast. The full roast is actually coming out on Tuesday on YouTube, so if you want, you can go check it out. And if you don't want spoilers, skip the big topic of KFAF, but if you want a little bit of taste, I recommend it. It's really, really funny. Now, after the taste of the roast, we move on to Ask Andy Anything. Jerry Coe wants to know if you can actually be addicted to talking to someone. We get what Andy and Nick think that might be. Now, this wraps up the best show on the internet, and with it, Tuesday's worth of content. Now, normally for Wednesday, I would talk about In Review and what the guys thought about the movie. This time it was covered with Spider-Man Far From Home, and I have not had a chance to see this film. There are certain films where I don't really care if they get spoiled, but this one is one that is near and dear to my heart. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and unfortunately, in my busy schedule, I just haven't had the time to see the movie. Money doesn't grow on trees, so it's also kind of a factor. Once I get the dough, I'm gonna go see this movie, but I don't want to know where the movie ranks on their list. I don't want to know what the rad guys talking bad guys think about the bad guy in this movie. I don't want to know who the bad guy really is, even though it might be Mysterio. And I also don't want to know about ranking those as. So, I'm not really going to review this topic. If you want to go see it, go check out the In Review on YouTube. Other than that, we're going to move right along to the Kinda Funny podcast. Alright, we are skipping Thursday since it was 4th of July. We had no content, and we are going to jump right into the Kinda Funny podcast. Hosts this week are Greg, Nick, Andy, and Tim. The first big topic of the show is actually pizza. We start off some more talk of Pizza Aoki, kind of where we left off last time. This leads into a name of different pizza places that Greg and Jen came up with. Surprise, surprise, a lot of the weirder names came from Greg. Everyone else also throws out a few ideas here and there. Greg then actually intros the show 19 minutes from the actual start. After that, we actually start talking about some Milk Mommy photoshops, for better or worse. Then on to the next topic, we talk about Tim being 30, and they discuss some of Tim's birthday roast. Again, there is some spoils here. They talk about some of their favorite jokes, so if you want to go in fresh until you watch the roast, skip this section. Other than that, it's really funny. You get a little bit of a taste again. Then after discussion of some of the jokes in the roast, the gang again talks about what they're going to be doing while they're in Austin, Texas. If you didn't know, this past weekend they were actually in Austin, Texas for RTX, so they talk a little bit about the hype there and primarily the food they're going to eat while they're in Texas. After this, Andy interjects some of his thoughts about watching Evangelion. He's watching it for the first time now that it's out on Netflix, so he's kind of been excited, but also talking about a little bit of a weird ride it's going to be. And then they finish up the show talking about the MCU, how successful it is, and if they think it can continue in the future, having another success like we had with the Infinity Saga. That wraps up Friday, and with it, this special shorter week of Kinda Funny content. Well, everyone, I want to thank you for tuning in for another episode of Kinda Funny Weekly Review. I hope you liked it. I know things were a little chaotic this week because so much stuff was different, but we got you through it. We got through it together, and everyone's had a little happier and better for it, shall we say. Other than that, the whole usual, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on Kinda Funny stuff, even if you can't watch the Kinda Funny content. While you're at it, make sure you go over to youtube.com/kindafunny or youtube.com/kindafunnygames, subscribing to both those channels. Even if you can't watch all the content, even if you just watch this show to stay up to date, brief little bits, I highly recommend giving them the subscribe because it means a whole lot to the business. It helps Kinda Funny, which in turn helps us get more entertaining content. Also, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny or patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Give it a couple bucks. Even if it's just $1, it goes a long way to help Kinda Funny. Other than that, as always, I've been Josh Piddick. I have nothing else to say, so have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.